So we are now officially recording, and I'll get the chat going here. So if anybody's got any questions or anything, you can also unmute your mic if you got a question. I put a welcome up there if you don't mind saying a hello or a hi up there. It's always nice. And I'm going to share the screen here. Let me make sure I got the right screen open. I'm also uploading the YouTube video from the sociology Zoom that I just finished up a little bit ago. Always something going on here. And tonight I'm going to be I'm giving a presentation to Harper Creek Optimist Club, who are a great organization. They raise money so they could spend it on you guys. That's the Harper Creek students, on programs and activities and sponsoring events and all kinds of things that they do. And I'm going to present to them about our video program here. And they donate sometimes, so maybe they'll donate again. Yep, and okay, so without further ado, we are recording, and I'm going to share my screen now and talk a little bit about the assignments this week. Hello, everybody, again. And let's see here. Here we go. Every week I get a little better at Zoom. Getting used to it now. Okay, back to this week here. What do we got going on here? A number of things. First of all, we're starting what I call multimedia presentations. I talked briefly about this on Monday. The big assignment for that is PowerPoint. If you're in the hybrid classes and you're in school 2 days this week, you're either here Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday and tomorrow. We're doing that one in class. But if you are at home on your own, just to review here what you need to do. First of all, we have the actual assignment. There's a PDF that basically talks about, you're making a presentation about how to make a good presentation, okay, in PowerPoint. And I provide a PDF with the text you need for your slides. You're gonna need to find some photos and graphics for your slides. It's not hard to do. I'll talk about that in a moment. You're gonna do some editing to make we call slideshow or PowerPoint. On at least 4 of them, do a custom background, which is covered in various tutorials. It's not hard to do. If you're in class, we do that together. We're gonna do a little editing on the layouts, colors, fonts, make it look good, make it look professional. Save often while you're working. Now, students are still often struggling with saving in OneDrive and saving on their computer, and where they saved and how to save it and how to get in Google Classroom and all that. So I'm trying to learn more about what things look like on your end so I can hopefully be a better help for you. But generally speaking, OneDrive's a great place to save for the simple fact it's online. You can access it from any computer. For those who don't know, both Word and PowerPoint, part of Microsoft Office, are completely cross-platform. So if you're in, say, our Mac lab and you save it in your OneDrive and you're working on PowerPoint, you go home, you open a Windows computer and you want to work on the same PowerPoint, no problem. Just open it up in PowerPoint for Windows and you can continue working on it. It might look a little bit different, the software, but your assignment should be just fine. The only thing that might occasionally happen, and this is true with any time you go between 2 computers, it is not necessarily a Mac or Windows thing, is occasionally you might use a font. And if you go to a different computer and it doesn't have that font on that computer, it'll substitute another font. So occasionally that happens where you open up something on another computer and it looks different. But that's not a Mac or Windows thing. That could be on 2 Mac computers or 2 Windows computers. Okay? It's saying my internet here is a little unstable. So I'd mention that. Now, I typically recommend save to OneDrive and then maybe save a copy to your, and notice I said save a copy. You can download or save a copy. Just open it up and do it a file and go to save as and save it to your desktop, and that's an easy place to submit it to Google Classroom. Okay? I also put up here about varying the colors, kind of like, you you did when you did the terms in Google Slides. So go up to your key text at the top and vary the colors a bit. And you could try out some other things. In class, we're doing some transitions and a few other things. I'm showing people how to do animations, but that's not an absolute requirement for the online students. Okay, so that's just a little idea there. Now let's take a look at a sample. Now for the title slide, the sample doesn't have a picture. I'm kind of neutral on that. If you want to put a picture on it, great. If you don't, just make it look good. Now you pick a theme. And your slideshow can have one theme throughout, as far as I know. So you're going to pick a theme when you first set it up, kind of like you do in Google Slides. And you're going to put your name on it. And there's typically a title slide comes up first. Put in your key text. Now you can highlight it, change the font, change the size, change the color, move the text box around if you want like presentations underneath creating good. You know, whatever you want to do and make it look good. You can move it around. Everything's editable. Then most slides are going to be something like this. You're going to, when you click for the second slide, by default, it brings up where there's a title and there's a bulleted list, and then you can put a picture somewhere. Most of the slides, you know, a lot of these will have the picture underneath the title, but this one, the person edited it, so the picture came up here, which is fine. You can custom edit each slide a little bit different if you like. Mix up the colors on your key term, so you know, just randomly go through and try some different colors so it's not just the same default color. Your bulleted list, pretty self-explanatory. There is a typo. When you get to number 2 on the bulleted list, I'll go to number 2 right now. It has anticipate and share questions next to include your sources of info with a weird symbol in between. So that was a mistake. You want that to come down to the next one here. Okay, there's another thing I'll mention when we get down to the last slide later that is a mistake on there. But basically you look for some picture that might go with it. Now some of the pictures you get will be literal and some will be just to make a point. This here, the character from Elf, that's just to make a point. He looks real excited. You can interpret that as being interested. Some other people might not come to that conclusion, but that's not all bad. And adding some humor when appropriate, you have to have appropriate humor, can be nice too for a presentation. Now, for occasionally on a slide, you can move the text box of your 3 bullets over here and move the picture over on the left. Usually this will be on top, but this person added it like that. Here, this next one, know your topic. Now, when you do Google searches for images, you can start with something obvious, like I'll just put know your topic. And sometime when I do a search like that, yeah, I get some great pictures pop up that might be usable. Other times I get nothing. I mean, it's not even worth, you know, you just got to come up with another type of search. So you just start trying to mix up different terms and even try to imagine the kind of picture you may want. Well, it turned out after a couple of tries, I wanted someone like they're doing research on a computer. So I literally put like person researching on computer or person looking at computer or something like that. And I found this image and it looks like somebody's doing research and being it's on a slide that says know your topic. The idea is that, hey, this person is, you know, trying to learn about whatever it is they're preparing for their presentation. And again, you insert the picture, move it around, resize it, make it look good. Okay, a lot of this is just trying to make things look good. And then you can mix up the colors up here. Make sure the colors go well with your background colors. So don't put a dark blue over a dark purple. It probably will barely show up, okay? Now this person just did alternate colors a little bit. So I want you to alternate a few more colors on top. Now I'm not talking about the colors in your bulleted list. For eye contact, I did a different one in class where I had 2 people staring at each other. This person made one with a dog and a cat looking up at you, but anything that's going to get some attention with eye contact. Okay, so you're learning about making a good presentation while you make a presentation about creating a good presentation. Now, I didn't cover this directly in classes. It's fairly easy to do, putting an image behind your text. There's various ways you can do that and edit it. This person found it like kind of a stopwatch or a timing watch or something. And this is, the idea of this is vary the pace and volume of your speaking. So that's how they chose to do it. Now you can just have someone up there speaking. you can find whatever else you think might visually go well with that. Okay, the one thing they did kind of strange here is they see where just one word two goes on to the next bulleted line, and there's no image right here to, you know, you didn't need the space there. So I'm guessing they probably originally pulled this text box in and then decided instead of putting the picture here, they put it behind. So they probably could have stretched that out just a little bit. They could have probably looked a little bit nicer. Now, one of the things that's covered in tutorials is how to do backgrounds. I'd like you to do 4 of them with custom backgrounds. A custom background can be a solid color, like, you know, red, blue, green, whatever solid color you want. It can be a gradient where it kind of fades from one color to another, or in some cases, 3 colors that fade into each other in various ways. They're all on background color in PowerPoint. Then you got to look up, it's like background or background theme. It's in the tutorial. It's on the format menu on the Mac version. So changing the backgrounds. There's also textures. This one has like a wood texture. And then there is, see, there's textures and patterns. And patterns, you can add the colors to it, so you can pick a pattern and then have it be a bluish pattern or a reddish pattern or whatever you may like. Okay, and I won't go through all these, but you can go through the sample here. And then how you're going to learn this if you're at home, okay? I put not 1, but 2 PowerPoint for Windows tutorials up here. One is 17 minutes, one is 26. That should cover a lot of the basics. Plus PowerPoint, quite frankly, is fairly easy to learn. So if you click around some of the menus and toolbars and that, you could probably figure a lot of things out. And a lot of skills you already have because they make PowerPoint to look a lot like Microsoft Word. I did add just kind of for those, a lot of times in a class like this, because we have such a range of abilities, a lot of my requirements, quite frankly, are quite simple. And a lot of students are like, hey, I could do something way better and more complex than this. By all means do. Okay, I want you to try something more advanced or something a little more creative. So occasionally I'll be sharing some information that might be targeted more at those students. Now this intro to PowerPoint tutorial on the bottom left is one that I made using a Mac version of PowerPoint that goes over this assignment. So even if you're not on the Mac version, you might find this useful to watch part or all of it. And it looks like I put the sample on here twice by accident, so that's all that is. Okay, buying a computer, I talked briefly about Monday. That's pretty easy. You go shopping. You don't literally buy a computer, but you have some fun with this. You go to Apple's website, go to Dell's website, and so forth. And for this assignment, you're going to buy 3 computers. You're going to buy one in the $500–600 range. Hint, don't even bother, go to Apple's website in that price range. One in the $1,000 to $1,300 price range, and one in the $2,000 to $3,000 price range. Then you're going to put a format together, and you're going to put the name of it, the brand, put the link somewhere at the bottom or whatever of where the link is to get to that where you purchased it. Put in the price, does it include shipping, what are the details, CPU, graphic card, RAM memory, hard drive, and so forth. And then you're going to write that up for each one, put the link maybe at the bottom of it, and then you're going to go on to the next one and buy one at the next price point and so forth. Now, I put an example on here. So if you're like, Mr. Rio, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. Then you look at the example. Here's how a student did it. They went for their first computer. They found a Dell. Now, you know, I didn't tell you where to look. There's a variety of places you can look. Some places you go and they just got a pre-made package. It's like, here's a computer. It comes with these features for this money, end of story. Other places you go, like Dell or Apple, you might start by clicking on a computer like an iMac, you know, 21-inch iMac or something. But then they got a price and they got certain things, which you can stop there and just use that. How much RAM memory, hard drive, video card, and so forth. Or you can go through and click and upgrade. So if it fits in your budget here, say you get to the $2,000–3,000 computer, and you want to pick, she did an iMac, a 27-inch iMac, but then she went through and did some upgrades to it, you know, pick some nicer things on there. Okay, Catherine wants to get an iMac. So then she put this here on there. Now, sometime the features like this are going to be a little bit different depending on the computer and where you're shopping. So you may not have the exact same categories. In some categories, you might just simply not know the answer. Now, RAM is almost never labeled as RAM. It's usually labeled as DDR or SRAM or something else. But RAM typically comes about 8 gig on a lot of computers. Sometimes you get 16, or if you're willing to pay for it, you can get more than that. So look around for that. What's the CPU? What's the brand, the size, the gigahertz? Maybe some info about the monitor. This one is a Retina 5K display. The video card, any software included. The processor, this is a 4.2 gigahertz turbo boost. Shipping is free. And here's the link. Okay, so that's meant to be kind of a fun one, but at the same time, you're learning about some of your decisions. The 2 TED Talks, if you're not in class and you're doing these entirely at home, the one that's about streaming, that was, I think, due already. That should be pretty interesting, pretty something you relate to. Streaming is huge, it's exploding. There's more and more streaming entertainment all the time. And people, a lot of your generation, that's where you get most of the stuff that you watch on TV, which may not be TV anymore, okay? Now, the other one's a bit harder. We actually watched that in class, and the C group will be watching it in class tomorrow if we can fit it in. And that's going to be about information. In this world of can we protect the truth in the age of misinformation? There's on the web, on the internet, there's all kinds of misinformation. There's all kinds of fake news. There's all kinds of things like this. So in both of these TED Talks, you're going to watch them. You're going to write a summary, summarizing what it was about, he talked about, and you're going to write some of your opinion. Now, your opinion can be about things he mentioned specifically in the presentation and the presentation itself. It can be about topics he brought up. So you may know things or heard things on these topics that aren't necessarily in the TED Talk. You can mention it in your opinion. So you have some more flexibility. The main thing with these is they're easy assignments, but if it asks for two paragraphs of at least 4 sentences each, make sure you do that if you want full credit. If it says for the opinion to write 4 to 5 paragraphs or more, make sure you've written 4 to 5 paragraphs or more and do a good job. Okay, so that's kind of a quick overview where we're at. None of it's that hard. Those not in class, you can look up anything that's not already in a tutorial or something online, or you can ask me questions. You can text me, email me, whatever. And that's about it. I don't know if anybody has any questions today. I'm looking here for my chat. Okay, I don't see any questions in here as far as the assignment. If you have any, you can contact me anytime. Thank you all for coming here today. And those of you that are on my attendance list, make sure you're in touch with me other ways also. And you guys have a great day. And Monday, I'm going to adjust the schedule a tiny bit. I'll let you know, I'll post about that on Monday because I have something going on at 2:30 on Monday. So I may move you guys back to like 1:30 on Monday, but I'll post that over the weekend. Okay. Take care, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing so you can see me a little better. Take care, Trey. Take care, Colin.
You too.
What? Yep.
Did you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you can't be with us this week?
No, not this week, but next week I'll be coming back to school.
Okay. Feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
You're just quarantined because you were near somebody that might have had it?
Yeah, we were near somebody who might have had it at the school.
Okay.
So I'm all good.
You're all good. Okay. If you got any questions on these assignments at home, let me know. If something you can't do and you need to wait till you come back, that's okay too. Don't worry about that, but do the best you can. Okay. Okay. Anything else? You're all set?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Take care. Yep. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.